And finally, you'll hear why world-famous keyboard artist Herbie Hancock has been practicing a form of Japanese Buddhism for the past 12 years. I'm Mal Adams. These reports coming up on This Week in Japan. In this week's profile, we'll show you another product of New York that has crossed cultures and is selling big in Japan. It originated on the streets of the city. Known as wild style or hip-hop, the craze embodies breakdancing, rapping, and scratch music. In Japan, as in the United States, more and more people are getting into it. One of the reasons for its success here is because of the latest album of internationally famous recording star Herbie Hancock. He has incorporated the sounds into his music, and in so doing was credited with legitimizing the hip-hop movement in Japan and around the world. Hancock has enjoyed a great following in Japan for several years, and opening night of his recent tour was no different. Because of the wide acceptance he receives here, Hancock says he can use Japan as the groundwork for new ideas.
This is about my 12th or 13th time in Japan, and in a sense, I almost call it my second home in the East, because I've always felt extremely welcome and comfortable here, and the audiences have always been supportive, no matter how my music has changed, and everybody's always willing to listen and to be exposed to new things, which is exactly what I need.
Although his early training was in classical music, Hancock says jazz is really his basic foundation.
And that allows me to be able to play all the other types of music that I play, which include, funk, R&B, pop, and now the new New York street music, hip-hop, whatever you want to call it. To me, that's very avant-garde.
Aside from his music, another reason Hancock is so well received in Japan is because of his special connection with Eastern thought. He has been practicing Nichiren Shoshu Buddhism for the past 12 years. It is a sect of Buddhism that has its origin in Japan. Another connection culturally and spiritually for you. What is your background with meditation?
Actually, I've been practicing Nichiren Shoshu Buddhism for the past 12 years. And even though this religion had its original origins in India, but Buddhism, of course, has its origin in India. Nichiren Shoshu Buddhism has its origin in Japan. It's an international religion. It's not a Japanese religion. Just like Christianity is not a Middle Eastern religion. People all over the world practice that. This is also an international religion for people all over the world. As a matter of fact, there are about 117 countries that practice the same religion. And I'm always pleased to come back to Japan to get a chance to go to the head temple, which is in Daisekeji, at the base of Mount Fuji, and to see the Daigo Honzo, which is the embodiment of enlightenment.
What does it do for you, and how did you get involved in it?
Well, everything about me that I really want to improve or need to improve on gets touched by the fact that I practice. I've made many improvements in my own life as a result of this practice. First of all, I would say that when you practice this religion, your perception of your own life becomes more clear. You begin to see things from a deeper perspective, and then you find that your this kinds of decisions that you make from moment to moment, day to day, become based off of a bigger picture of your life, and that's about the best you can do. And of course, the longer you practice, the better you get at it. So, I mean, to be more concrete, I would say that I have much more courage about, for example, the music that I play. I have much more confidence in many of the decisions that I've made, and in myself in general. And this confidence doesn't come from people, patting me on the back and telling me how good I am or anything like that. It's a confidence that really comes from within my life. I have a certain kind of security that's developed as a result of doing this religion that I didn't have before. And it comes from me, you see, and many other things, of course.
A common symbol of the Japanese culture, the Japanese people who practice Buddhism, it is said that they don't practice religion so much, but in their everyday lives it manifests itself.
Exactly. This definitely is the term religion. From my own Christian background is very different from what religion means in terms of this Buddhism. This Buddhism is a daily life Buddhism. And there are no advertisements or anything about the religion. People learn about the religion from life to life. And the other incredible aspect about this is that you can change your karma when you practice this religion, and it works whether you believe in it or not.
Okay. All right, one final question, that is about the technology of this country. You use a lot of Japanese equipment. What can you say about the people and their adaptability and their productivity here?
Okay, I would say two things. I think that many years ago, the Japanese learned a lot from Americans and from people all over the world, and now I think it's time for Americans and people all over the world to learn from the Japanese.
You use
I use my television, my watch, many of my keyboards, so many technological things that I have in my life are from Japan.
Here in your concerts and the electronics and the efficiency of the studios and the venues that you play here.
Well, as far as recording is concerned, I've only recorded in 2 studios here in Japan, and I wouldn't say that that difference is very significant as far as concerts are concerned.
And so it is this week in Japan. Mal Adams, CNN, Tokyo.
This program is presented by the Japan Center for Information and Cultural Affairs in order to create better understanding between Japanese and American peoples.
From Turner Broadcasting System, this is Cable News Network.